Imagine you and I are grabbing a coffee, and I start talking about this super cool tool that's not just a must-have, but a real game changer for any serious organization these days. It's called Azure AD Identity Protection, and it's a fantastic way to keep your digital fortress safe and sound. This isn't just about locks and alarms, it's about keeping your identities and access secure, or else you're setting yourself up for digital disaster. Let's break it down real simple because, trust me, you're going to want to get out of the dark ages of security when you hear this. Azure AD Identity Protection uses all this fancy tech, like machine learning and good old heuristics, to spot any sly moves that could turn your security into an open door, like that one roommate who sneaks in when you're not looking, but for bots and hackers. It does this right in your Azure AD environment because having a unified view of risk is way better than sorting through a cluttered mess of logs and identifiers. I remember reading about an organization, let's call them the Fort Knox of enterprises, that was drowning in compliance hassles every time they had to deal with identity problems. They had to do a ton of manual spot checks, and sometimes they'd uncover breaches too late, which is kind of like finding out you've left your car unlocked and robbed when returning to it. Azure AD Identity Protection saved the day for them, making sure that risky behavior is nipped in the bud and they're left with a solid defense. Here's the kicker, they didn't just set this baby up once and forget about it. They monitor, manage, and continuously fine-tune their defense, ensuring that nothing sneaky finds its way past the guard. This isn't just a one-and-done deal. It's an ongoing conversation between your business and security, with Azure AD Identity Protection leading the way. Now, for the nitty-gritty stuff. Think of Azure AD Identity Protection as a three-part harmony, the first note setting the stage, the second adding depth, and the third bringing it all home. First, we lay down the strategic importance. Not just for the sake of a fancy title, it's about putting your organization's security on the map in the eyes of governance, reducing the headaches of compliance, and making sure your folks are doing their job when they're on the clock. Now, let's chat about the architecture, because where you put your cyber armor can make a world of difference. The implementation architecture is as crucial as the armor itself. It needs to be robust and sophisticated, but let's not forget the human touch. The best tool is one that's user-friendly so you can focus on what you are good at doing without getting lost in translation between IT and the rest of your business. Following that, we get to dig into the configuration walkthrough. This is where we tailor our cyber armor to fit perfectly. We'll look at all the different ways we can armor up, setting guidelines that don't just cover the obvious but cover all the blind spots as well. Then, we'll sift through some advanced troubleshooting tips, because nothing is perfect, and we have to cover our bases for when it hiccups. And let's hear it loud and clear for setting up best practices specific to enterprise deployments, because when you're juggling millions of identities across an entire organization, things can go south super quickly if you don't play by the rules. Wrapping things up, I must emphasize the strategic value, the continuous engagement, and the importance of proper configuration. Together, we are aiming to create an environment where Azure AD Identity Protection is effectively safeguarding your data. Ends 00085. Oh, speaking of safeguarding data and staying abreast of the latest and greatest in cybersecurity, why not take advantage of the entire spectrum of knowledge that TechLab offers? Go ahead and visit neeraj.qzz.io and don't forget to subscribe to drop in on us, because here, we're all about that digital armor in the cyber world. explanation of the role of AI in enhancing cybersecurity, particularly Azure AD identity protection. A detailed and hypothetical case study of Azure AD identity protection working alongside legacy systems within an enterprise environment. Incorporation of concerns regarding data privacy and AI ethics in cybersecurity. Integration methods with various enterprise systems. A section on the mitigation of potential disruptions such as latency or data incompatibility, a vision for future advances in AI security integrations within Azure. Visually describing the benefits as metaphors, such as a shield to guard against cyber threats. No usage of headers, bullet points, or markdown formats, and include transitions to connect the sections of dialogue cohesively. Ensure no use of repetitive phrases where possible. Immediately conclude with, join us at neeraj.qzz.io for more insights and visit to learn more about our AI-integrated security solutions. Ensure smooth closure without providing further call to action, encouragements, or additional prompts.